Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be paying tribute to, we could say now, former I should say, venerable Major League Baseball player, and his name is Derek Jeter. And I want to talk about just a number of things with him, about him. He just, there's really not enough superlatives to describe this man. He was a 14-time American League All-Star, batted .300 in 12 of 20 Major League Baseball seasons. He played 150 games or more in 13 of those seasons. Nearly 3,500 hits, 260 home runs, lifetime batting average of .310. His hit total ranks 6th all time. And he was also on 5 World Series teams, including that legendary one in 1998 that went 114 and 48. Obviously, innumerable accolades and achievements. Was a prototypical player, consummate athlete, awesome, tremendous professional, both on and off the field. I think when I don't know how many of you remember this catch a number of years ago when he fell into the stands. And I mean, there is really nothing about him that I could say was egocentric. I mean, he seemed like he was just a selfless player and was willing to sacrifice himself, his body literally, for the sake of the team. Derek Jeter is someone we can look at and emulate, a role model for others to follow, the prototypical athlete. This would be somebody that would inspire camaraderie in a clubhouse. He avoided controversy, and he led by example, simply being an exemplary player, or I should say exemplary player. He's just somebody that is really a once-in-a-lifetime kind of person. You don't hear about him ever heard him getting involved or embroiled in controversy, scandals, nothing he was never tested positive for PEDs. And to top it off, he did this, or I should say, in certain things he didn't do, in an era where people are under more intense scrutiny due to the internet era. His Hall of Fame career, which I believe will be Hall of Fame, he will get elected, but his first game was May 29th, 1995. I believe the internet was out that time. I'm not 100% on that, but it seems like, I mean, his debut to the time he ended his career, the internet, I believe, was out, and social media, especially since Twitter came around and Facebook, since like around 2007, 2008, I mean, we've seen, I mean, players, people that have celebrity status. I mean, everything is under so much magnification and scrutinized so much, and to be able to do this also in New York, in a place where you have such strong media scrutiny, period, I mean, it's almost incomprehensible. He just, a phenom, as I stated before. It's once in a lifetime, one of the greatest contemporary players we've seen, and one of the greatest players of all time. Now, some of you may have heard, I didn't watch the video on this, but Keith Olbermann had apparently stated some things in video that were derisive and were negative regarding Derek Jeter. Well, all I could say is, as much as I do admire Keith Olbermann, he's very articulate, he's eloquent, he gets straight to the point in matters, but it doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he says. He's entitled to believe what he wants to believe about Derek Jeter. But Derek Jeter, though, obviously, like everyone, every human mortal being, wasn't flawless, not infallible, but as far as a player and what he stood for and the example he showed people and just his work ethic, he was pretty darn close. I look at it's interesting when I look at Derek Jeter. He played his final game in Boston, which is today. Well, today that I make the day I'm making the video anyway, and he got a hit in his final at bat, got an RBI. The Yankees won the game. No shocker. Now, the first game that the Yankees played with Derek Jeter in the lineup, Derek Jeter's first game, Derek Jeter went 0 for 5. The team lost 8-7 to the Seattle Mariners on May 29, 1995. But on September 28th, 2014, Derek Jeter made sure he went out a winner, and his team won as well. The Red Sox, how befitting is this? A team that has all this supposed animosity with the Yankees. Derek Jeter even brings out the best in these teams. The Red Sox made a contribution of $22,222.22 to Jeter's Turn 2 Foundation. I mean, and the Red Sox fans, received Derek Jeter very well on this final game as well. And another thing is, how befitting was it for him to get a game-winning hit in his last game at Yankee Stadium? It was actually supposed to rain that day, but what happened was Jeter was showered with cheers and adulation from fans. That's where the showers came in. And it just really, in a way, it's almost, there's something magical with him. It was like when, I don't know how many of you follow the NBA pro basketball, but I'm going to say it may have been 1992. It was in the early 90s, and Magic Johnson made an awesome shot in the All-Star game. He was simply magic. I think there's something about Derek Jeter that's very magical as well. And I figure, let's say I'm alive 30, 35 more years, I don't think I'm going to see anybody like Derek Jeter as far as a Major League Baseball player in my lifetime. You hear about all these players embroiled in controversy over steroid use, scandals, just controversy in general, dissension in clubhouses. Derek Jeter was somebody that inspired camaraderie, and if anything, he would be the type to prevent quarreling and bickering in a clubhouse. He would not get himself embroiled in it personally, but he would be, because he had such leadership characteristics and capabilities, he just wasn't going to do that. Now, Lou Gehrig may have been the pride of the Yankees. Babe Ruth could very well be the greatest Major League Baseball player of all time. But during the time that Jeter played for the New York Yankees, he was the heart and soul of the team. Takes accomplishments in stride, and he took them in stride. Very reticent, humble. There was something that was not with him. I didn't see him as arrogant or egotistical. Very modest type personality. He seemed to always have good media relations. He's very just a low-key kind of conservative type person, and I just don't see us really seeing anybody in Major League Baseball that's going to really come that close to the standard that Jeter set on and off the field. All these personal accolades, achievements, he was just, it probably doesn't even tell half the story about Derek Jeter. And now that he's retired, I'm sure whatever he decides to do, whether it's in conjunction with Major League Baseball or not, he'll be a winner, because he always was when he played Major League Baseball with the New York Yankees. If he doesn't get a first ballot Hall of Fame induction, it would actually be a travesty to the game, in my opinion. Well, people, that'll conclude this YouTube segment for my tribute to Derek Jeter. And until next time, people, stay well.